Welcome to the SDA Housing Podcast, brought to you by NDIS Property Australia. Before starting this episode, we need to provide a general disclaimer. Information contained in this podcast is general in nature only. It does not take into account the objectives, financial situation, or needs of any particular person. You need to consider your financial situation and needs before making any decisions based on the information in this podcast. And you should consider seeking independent and professional advice for your personal circumstances. All right, let's begin.
Hello everybody, my name is Minh and I'm your host for today from NDIS Property Australia, and you're listening to the SDA Housing Podcast, a show that explains, highlights, guides and brings awareness about all things SDA in this ever-changing NDI world. Today's amazing guest speaker is Lynn Gabriel from SDA Conferences. Hello Lynn.
Good morning, Minh, or good day.
Good day. You're in Perth and I'm in Brisbane.
Correct.
How's life over there in Perth?
How is life? I'd be here in Perth. It's good. It's cold as the rest of the country though, so we're really feeling the east pain with this weather, this unpredictable weather. But otherwise, life is good.
Wonderful. So tell us more about who you are and what you do and what SDA Conferences is all about, please.
Yes, sure. Look, I'm the director of Jazz Corp Australia, and SDA Conferences and Events is a subsidiary of the organisation. And my job is to research and, all the challenges that are out there in the industry and bring people together as multidiscipline network, really, and keep them all updated and informed and connected. So everything we do is solution orientated. So I actually go out there just looking at all the challenges and offer the solutions through the multidiscipline approach. And of course, resourceful speakers and industry bodies and local government that can provide that information to all. Yeah.
Yes. So in a way, you are an events management business specialising in the SDA sector in getting the stakeholders in the industry together on a regular basis all around Australia. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. I'd like to think that we're a little bit more than an events management business because really what we do, yes, we bring people together under the platform of the events, but the information that's provided is is based on educational information. So there's a lot of education, it's a lot of updating, and there's a lot of information that's been communicated to all. So it's not just an ordinary event. What we want to do is bring those challenges to light and give everyone a voice at these platforms, I'd like to call it, even though we do call ourselves an event management, you are right. But I'd like to see us a little bit more than that. We are a platform, and all those that actually invest in coming along really should be walking away a lot more equipped to finish the job and to, connect with others that can assist in those projects as well.
Can you tell us, our listeners, the kind of attendees who go to your events and also the types of presenters who actually presented your events?
So the SDA Conferences and Events, as well as our NDIS Link Events and Conferences, fall under our NDIS brand. And this is a network of SDA providers, SIL providers, financiers, fund managers, builders, architects, property developers, all the stakeholders in this space attend these events, and many of them are actually decision makers. So we appeal to all those in that space to basically come along to the event. Now, the way the event is designed or the program is designed is to address challenges that each delegate can benefit from. And if they feel at that point that it's not really for them, they will actually know someone who will benefit from that particular topic. So the types of topics that we look at stem from either property development to fund management to a voice, I guess, from the SIL provider as well. So it is quite diverse, but it all serves the same purpose, which is really for the participant and how the participant will benefit from the design of the home to the needs, to the individual needs. It could be assisted living technology as well. That also comes into play. So it's all those that are actually building and designing for the participant. And even occupational therapists do come along to these events as well. So their input is absolutely vital. So as you can see, it is a full network, all there for the same purpose, which is really for the participant as a whole.
I think it's great that your organisation is putting up the effort to travel all around Australia and all the metro cities to bring together different professionals who want to widen their reach around Australia and using their skills and services and using your platform as a voice to bring more awareness to the community in the NDIS market. And I think it's a great job you're doing. Fantastic.
Thank you, Minh. Look, it's been a passion for myself over the last few years, but there's been something different about these type of events. Walked in initially, as I do with every project, I wanted to see some results and I wanted to see it work perfectly for everyone. However, it's I think it's changed me and the way I look at things is all I didn't know myself, believe it or not. But it's been extremely humbling and rewarding when you hear the stories, especially coming from those with lived experience that are presenting at the events. It's a real humbling experience compared to some of the other conferences that I've hosted over the years. This is very much a people affair and a community affair. And I think anyone that has a different drive or motivation for, presenting or being part of this event really needs to reevaluate and consider that this is just more than a project. It really is a designing for a purpose, and it's impacted. It actually impacts all areas of the participant's life. And when you see some of the projects that have successfully been brought forward and the drivers behind them, it really is quite rewarding for someone like myself who is hosting these events and seeing this in real life, really. I see it from beginning to fruition. It's just an incredible experience for myself.
Well, I can vouch for that, Lynn, because a lot of my business opportunities now for our organisation, NDIS Property Australia, is because of the connections you've given us access to at the Sydney networking event, the Melbourne networking event, bumping into developers and architects and designers, just all these different specialists around Australia who are SDA experts in their own field, and allowing us to network with each other, because there's only so much you can learn and do and achieve in your own little backyard, wherever you are as a professional. But having an environment where, again, this is a new sector, the NDIS sector, only 3 years ago, giving us a voice, a platform, a forum to gather and meet every few months or every month. If you are a junket person like I am, to attend all your events and to meet new people, because what's happening now is, for next month in November, I'm bringing all my staff down with us.
Oh, fabulous.
And we're there to help you out as well, Lynn, to help you out in any way we can. Pro bono for this one time, but next year we'll be charging you a fee to help you out, right? Without you, I wouldn't go to Perth in October to visit your network over there, So it's all about opportunity, and unless people who are investors and developers who want to learn more, you're not going to be able to get that knowledge and experience unless you step out of your backyard to meet more people. Because the reality is, we as individuals don't know enough about this growing sector called the SDA market. We're not, and we rely upon our circle of professionals around us who are new to us and also existing, to help us learn more and more about this SIL and the SDA and the development game for SDA. So it's very important that we keep on doing what we can to help your business to attend and support you as well, Lynn.
And thank you, Minh. I really, really do appreciate everything you have been doing, at least letting people know about the events. And it's even more rewarding for me to know that you're receiving a good return benefit from this. We know everyone's really time poor. And there's one of my pet hates is wasting time. And a lot of what I do, especially in this time in my life, is really I invest, and I believe that those that come along to my events, in particular with the programs that are designed quite strategically, so for everyone's benefit, it's so important for me to know that they have not wasted their time. It's actually quite devastating for me if someone walks away and feels that way, and that has not been the case, thank goodness. I'm ever so flattered and humbled that the speakers that have been with us since Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth, and back to Melbourne, and now to Hobart, have actually travelled and invested themselves in doing so, and have been able to deliver this amazing program and the wealth of information, and sharing that with everyone who's been coming along, who's so hungry. There's a real hunger out there. And when people walk away, and especially that opportunity to be able to connect with others, and having that updated information, that just gives them that extra bit of equipment, I guess, as part of their tools to understand what they're doing in their projects. It gives them that confidence to know that they can connect with others and many have come just by themselves, which is great. Some people, it's really hard to network, but when you come along to these events, everyone really is there for the same thing, and it really is a safe place for everyone. And so many walk away with more contacts, more friends, and long business relationships, and knowing better about what next to do, which is, it's been a complicated space at most and at best. So it's been really rewarding and humbling for me when people do give me that feedback, and knowing that it's actually been a return investment more of their time than anything else. That's really my purpose, and what I'd like to leave as my legacy is knowing that I've done something to influence and impact and make things better, and for everyone involved. And at the end, as we say, is for the participant. And if they are getting the most from what we're doing, then I've lived my purpose and served it through SDA Conferences and Events.
That's great. An example for you is yesterday, me and my staff here, we went to a event in South Brisbane at a company called Holistic Home Care, who did an event called Bringing Communities and People Together. And there were about 100 people there, and I was one of the presenters with Greg Barry and an occupational therapist and another individual who's disabled and who works for the Housing Hub, and then also someone from NDIS. And my presentation of 20 minutes was all about the content and data that I've learned in the last few trips around your events.
Oh, wow.
Courtesy of M3 Property and InHab and Just Advisory, just taking snippets of their content that's presented to the community and molded into my own version of presentation to present to the crowd of 100 support partners and providers in the room about the build construction trends and the SDA numbers and the figures and the research. And that's given me confidence to pass the knowledge on to other people in the local community in Brisbane here about what to watch out for, what to look forward to in terms of design and a build for SDA participants, right? And that's me gleaning the information myself from all the trips I do with go to your events as well. So, and I really thank you for that, because my focus now, our business model here now is all about information and mentoring. So trying to teach as many builders and developers the right way to produce the SDA product in the community for participants, trying to educate clients, investors and listeners to know more about how they should invest, where they should invest, and what they should invest in, because it's too complicated, as you say. It's very complex. And unfortunately, we can only learn so much where we are in Brisbane here, right? And because of my networks in Perth and Sydney and Melbourne now, we as a business here at NDIS Property Australia, we're learning more about how to build different products and different designs and producing it as, perfect for the business to live in together, So again, unless the form that you produce, which is the SDA Conferences form, and by the way, if you're a listener, the website is sdaconferences.com, right? And, as you said, you're in every city at the moment or in all your travels, unless you actually intend to meet and greet these professionals, it's very hard to read information on the internet, on your phone, on your computer, and try and understand the NDIS because it's so hard to read and absorb it all. You got to spend, the people who come to your events, your speakers and attendees as well, as you realise, Lynn, they are full-time 24/7 SDA.
Yes.
They're not half in, half out. They're totally in. And they're contributing their knowledge and their expertise to the community in this forum, this format you have here. And I hope to see more and more experts in the NDIS field contribute to your events around Australia every month that you go to. So kudos to you, Lynn. Good work, great work, fantastic work. And I hope that you do more and more for next year. Speaking of which, next year, what are your plans for cities and events and types of events for the new year moving forwards?
Look, we will be holding a expo in Melbourne. We will be holding a conference expo in Melbourne. We will come back to you with more details later on. And of course, in Perth, hometown in Perth, we find that everyone does enjoy coming to Perth, but Melbourne really seems to be the central point where everyone can also easily just get on the plane and, meet there. So we're actually going to be hosting a conference expo there, but we're hosting small networking events as well, right across the country. Look, my job and my passion at this stage is to make sure all the information and the connections are easy to get to, and people can meet at least once a month. We have roundtables in plan. This is under our SDA brand. There is a membership which is now open to all SDA stakeholders. And of course, part of that membership package is that they do get a free ticket per year at all the events. And really, it does pay for itself in the end. So that's something that we advise and recommend everyone to look at as well. That's ndisda.com.au. And so, look, the events will also fall under NDIS link events and conferences. So we really want to, bombard? Is bombard the right word? We want as much information and as many connections out there as possible so that everyone walks away better informed, connected, updated, and really just, be able to pull those really good business relationships moving forward.
So, Lynn, moving forwards, do I reference you as NDIS Link or SDAconferences.com, or do I reference you as NDISDA as a brand? What's your brand moving forward to the new year?
SDA Conferences and Events is focused on specialist disability accommodation conferences and events and stakeholders in that space. The NDIS Link events and conferences focused on other areas of NDIS stakeholders. NDISDA is an amalgamation of both, if that makes sense. So NDISDA looks after interests in the SDA space, of which many members will be able to attend the conferences at a lesser cost. I think it's 10% for discount for tickets, and also they receive a free ticket a year as well to come along to those events. And NDIS Link will be the same. But so ndisda.com.au is the umbrella above us. But do follow us, whether you're going to that website or SDA conferences. It's all interlinked. and all the information will be there for you to view.
Gotcha. So moving on, the final event for the year is in Hobart. Tell us more about the date and the event and what's going to happen and the guest speakers.
Okay, so look, we're excited. We've heard a lot about Tasmania as a whole, and the guest speakers will be Justin McDonald. He's from Just Advisory Services. So we have David Watson from Arc Design. We have Layla Burnett from M3 Property, Alison McLeod from InHab Australia, Greg Barry from SDA Services, and of course we have our sponsors, which we are really grateful, and that's InsureNet, AdvisorNet. So we are looking forward to hearing their presentation. There's a lot about insurance that many of us don't realise. I used to work many years ago for an insurance company, and so I'm really, really grateful for their sponsorship in the space. We really do need to include insurance in everything that we do. And we're also quite grateful for your sponsorship as well, Minh. So we'll be hearing you present, and there will be a live cast, I believe. Are we excited about that?
Well, you know what? I've been toying with the idea. I think myself and Debbie and Rob, we're going to really enjoy doing a live podcast in front of the 100+ attendees.
Yeah.
It'll be like a podcast / Q&A, because I think a lot of people, I wanna answer the questions that people are thinking about most in the crowd, because for the day there'll be all these concepts and ideas about the SDA market, the NDIS market, and all kind of stuff. But I want to show our listeners in a live podcast that for the first time in our 100 episodes, we will have a direct link between the attendees in the crowd, asking questions directly on the microphone to us,
Yes.
and we'll answer that. We'll talk about those topics that they're raising in a discussion in our podcast for that 30 minutes, just to show how we run our podcasts. That'll be really great, I think. Yeah,
we're really looking forward to that. So, look, the speaker panel is a really good one. They've received excellent reviews. As mentioned, they've been following us or travelling with us right across the country. So in essence, we have advisory services. We have 2 valuers presenting as well. And of course, we have an access consultant who is John Malang. He's from Trintab Access. And David Watson is really the full picture. Not only is he an architect, but he's a designer. He's a designer architect. He's a developer. He is an SDA assessor, a livable housing assessor. And he has a wealth of information, and a good few of these speakers have actually got lived experience, as mentioned before. And of course, I cannot forget Tony Rutherford. He is actually a lawyer, so you'll be hearing it straight from the blend as well.
You got myself and David Watson and Greg Barry from Brisbane flying down for the event. So it's going to be, and that's 3 of the 6. Oh, actually, Justin as well. 4 of us are from Brisbane who are protecting at the event. Yeah.
What do you say? Do you say Brisbaneans or Brisbaneites?
We're just better than everyone else. That's why. No, look, I think me and my team are going to really enjoy presenting on our podcast in front of the whole crowd as our segment. I don't want to talk about us. No, it's always boring to talk about us. But what I want to talk about is the construction game, the building game, what we're seeing before our eyes, the builders and developers and the construction groups, surviving or falling apart in this tumultuous time of construction. So that's one of the biggest topics I want to talk about in our podcast, and take on any other questions about providers and investor strategies into the NDIS, SDA market. So I want to be able to show the crowd and our listeners that it's not scripted. It's just we're going to wing it and see what happens. And that's what we'll do. Actually, what I might do, I will put, if you have a PowerPoint on the day, I'll put our phone number on the screen, and then anyone in the crowd text a question to the phone number, and we'll answer it on the spot in our podcast. Yeah, that's what
Yes, that's that. No, that's really, really good. I'm excited. And I'm also excited to meet many of the locals as well that will be attending this event. So we've got quite a few locals coming along. Again, a lot of information that is so needed on that day. There's a lot hungry for information. So
exactly. There hasn't been enough focus around us for Tasmania and Hobart. If we look at the numbers, statistics, which we've talked about so many times on our podcast, Tasmania is lagging very far behind in terms of the numbers of product in the community for participants. So I'm sort of glad we're having the last event in Hobart. So we all, as professional industry experts, are going to bring attention to the Tasmanian market as a underperformer in terms of products being created for SDA there. Yeah.
Yes, and that's the word that we have that's been circulating, is that there is a frustration with the amount of properties and land available in Tasmania. So we had to have a roundtable discussion the following day as well. And hopefully we'll do that with some of the local providers. And look, again, this is the part I get really excited about. I'd love to listen to the challenges out there, but most of all, I like to sit and navigate some solutions using the right resources and put pen to paper and look at a way out and however we can achieve the best outcome as a whole.
Wonderful. As you were talking there, Lynn, I was counting the number of people who are coming down to Hobart because of my invitation. 22 invitees I've invited who are coming along for sure.
That's fabulous. That is absolutely fabulous. And again, we underestimated Melbourne. We couldn't move in Melbourne, so I think we booked for the 50 people, and we ended up with over 100. So, look, again, the program is exciting. The wealth of information from these speakers is exciting. And the networking component and knowing who's coming along is exciting. There's really no reason not to be at this event. You can only walk away better informed, updated and connected with the right people at these events.
So, Lynn, if you said earlier, if someone walks away unhappy, you'll get a refund, is that right? I want to know my 22 times...
Minh says there will be a refund. He's sorry.
At least give you 50% off. Come on, 50% discount. Come on, a refund.
Look, I'll be honest with you. There was an event that was held once, and I didn't design the program, but a still provider had actually said she was not happy with that, and that bothers me. I don't sleep properly, Minh, and I actually mean that literally. If someone is dissatisfied about something that, whether I was directly involved or not, I need to make it right. So I did invite this person to come along to the next event at no cost. And she was quite excited about that and brought others. Once she viewed the program that I designed, she thought this would be better. And she has walked away a very happy person overall. So it does bother me. Obviously, we're not going to be able to please everybody, but, saying that, it's $500 is not something that you most find in the kitty real quick. Yes, I know it's tax deductible and so forth, but you still have to spend that and you still have to invest that. So, again, I hate wasting time and I hate wasting money. So I believe that others will be the same as you when they come along to our events. So if someone is totally dissatisfied and feels that they didn't get a return benefit, yes, definitely, I will be inviting them. I won't refund them. Unfortunately, what happens is the money all goes to the catering and the venue, and so it's difficult to get any refunds from them. So, but what I do say is there will be a credit for the next event.
Great. I'll keep that in mind in my letter of complaint to you next time. To get 10 freebies, 10 free tickets.
Right.
Don't worry, Lynn. You won't waste your time. You give me your time and I'll waste it for you. So listen, my last words of advice, right, to anyone listening here is, even if you're an investor or someone who's passively on the fence, who is just thinking about, is this market for you or not, just come along to one of these events in the next few months, or this one in October, because you're going to meet people who are 100% committed to the sector, and you will see the passion and the expertise and their knowledge come out, because you cannot learn this stuff from your computer. You cannot. Unless you're 24/7 like we are in this sector, you're going to make mistakes possibly, unless you are led by the right people in the sector. It's a very complex sector, and you've got to keep on learning. As all things in life, we all know, you can never stop learning. And in this NDA space, there's just so much to learn. There's too much to handle at the moment. So the only way you can learn this is come to these events if you can, and just spend half a day or a day to come along to see who's who and what they do, and go from there. It's up to you from there, I guess. Yeah. Lynn, what about you? Any words of advice from you as an events management organizer for these events, for anyone listening to this podcast, about whether they should attend, or any words of advice for you? Yeah.
Look, come along. The reason being is that the people that are there that are providing the information are real. They've lived it. They've seen it. Their business and everything they invest is built on it. So apart from that, and even myself, this is my own company. So, what we do and what we give is all about the passion in making sure that you receive that return on investment. So the business or the program is actually really, truly designed to make sure that you know better, you're better updated, you are connected, and you're full of great food. Of course, let's not talk. We'll talk about the food as well. But you're in a safe environment, and I think that too is the most important thing. That's the place to ask questions in a safe environment. There's no judgment. And so whatever challenges you're going through, there's answers out there. And my job and everyone else around me that's presenting is to make sure those resources are available for you. So I encourage you to come down, have some fun, come with your questions, come with lots of questions, and walk away better informed. I hope to see you all there.
Exactly. Lynn Gabriel, thank you so much for your time. If anyone wants to make contact with you, how do they contact you in terms of phone numbers or emails or websites, whatever?
You can call me on 1300 667 709. It's Australian nationwide number. Look, I'm always available. So if for some reason the team are busy, do leave a message and we will come back to you within the 30 minutes. And email at sda@jazzcorpaustralia.com.au. So that's sda@jazzcorpaustralia.com.au. There's only one Z in Jazz Corp, but email me and I'm more than happy to communicate with you by return email or by phone call, whichever is easier.
Wonderful. Well, this is Minh and Lynn signing off.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure you are subscribed and following us so you can keep in the loop with all of our upcoming episodes. We would really appreciate it if you could leave us a 5-star rating, a written review, and to share this podcast with those that could benefit. Until next time, catch you on the next episode.